Hey guys, it's Nick, and thanks for tuning into Long Island Wargaming. And this is a third battle report with the new Warhammer Dwarves book. And I'm going to be playing against Ryan, and he is bringing the High Elves. It is a 2,500 point game, and my dwarves, like I've mentioned in the last two reports, are in pieces, so I apologize if you're looking for a fully painted battle report. And Rich's High Elves, which Ryan is using, are also a bit shoddy. So here's a look of the whole battlefield. I'm bunkered up here in the corner. If you want to check out the list in its full detail, I'll have a link in the description below. Check it out. It's in a different video. But this is essentially a gunline deployment, but this list is based around the IronDrakes. I want to try them out, so I have a unit of 20 IronDrakes lined up in the middle there in ranks of 10. From left to right is 10 Quarrelers, 35 Longbeards, Organ Gun with 2 runes on it, Master Engineer hanging out behind. I didn't know if I should put him in one of the 2 units. This way he just can't get shot at at all. Any War Machine within 3 inches can use his benefit. It doesn't say that he joins the War Machine. It doesn't say he has to be outside of the unit, so you might be able to just hide him in a unit, so I might do that more. And then the IronDrakes, Stone Thrower, Iron Breakers, cannon, and then there's a gyrocopter right there to the right, and then there's a gyrocopter all the way on the other edge of the table. So there's about 3 times as many elves on the battlefield than there are dwarves. From right to left, we have 5 silver helms, 15 bowmen, Sisters of Avalorn, 2 units of 5 hiding behind the hill, an eagle, bolthor, fast cav, white lions, 15 more bowmen, great swords, swordmasters of Hoeth, I should say, fast cab, bolthor on the back, and then another eagle. This shot, again, just shows you how spread out Ryan is and how nestled in the corner I am. Some other important things worth mentioning: heroes and lords. Ryan is bringing the Everqueen, which is chilling in the White Lion unit, and the BSB is hanging in the Phoenix Guard unit, and he's got the Reaver Bow. Also, for me, I've got my Rune Lord and my BSB and my Engineer. Also, I rolled up on my Ancestral Grudge table, and I rolled Hatred, so I hate the entire army. I'm re-rolling missed missed to hits in the first rounds of combat, which is cool because the elves will get a little bit of a taste of their own medicine. My dwarves have no vanguard, nor do any of my gyrocopters, so we have high elf vanguards. These guys move up, as does these guys. And that's not going to be a problem because I get turn 1, which means my 2 gyrocopters over here will make a run for that 1 unit and torch them. The other guys will just get shot up by whatever shooting is on that side, doesn't matter. The Longbeards will shuffle up a little bit just to protect the organ gun, which is behind that entrenchment from the engineer. And I'm just going to leave everyone else the way they are. So unless I mention it, just assume the Grudge Thrower does nothing at all, ever. Even with the Rune of Accuracy, doesn't help. I torch up 3 guys between these 2 gyrocopters. Wasn't as good as I thought. I was kind of hoping to get all of them, but, you know, what are you going to do? The cannon knocks out this bolt thrower, and between the IronDrakes and the Quarrelers, we go ahead and kill this unit of fast cav. So for High Elf turn 1, we go ahead and make a charge into the gyrocopter with the remaining 2 fast cav. And besides that, there are no other charges. This is how the movement on the left side goes. And on the right side, the infantry move up as quickly as they can. We have an eagle chilling in front of the impassable. Silver helms move up, the bowmen and the sisters also move up. So we have magic, and I'll get into Ryan's magic. He actually got Walk Between Worlds, Soul Quench, Arcane Unforging, and Fire Convocation. So Ryan goes ahead and does Walk Between Worlds, which brings the swordsmen, the swords masters of Hoeth that were behind the fast cav and the gyrocopter, and brings them up this way, which I really didn't care about. I figured I'd shoot them down or flame them next turn with the gyrocopter. But then I realized why it was so important that he did this is because he's trying to get off a bunch of little spells, so the Everqueen, who already gives the unit a 5-up board save, can boost that even more with high magic, because every time you cast a spell, you get an extra ward save for the unit, which is crazy. The Phoenix Guard are already at 4+ standard, so the White Lions are going to get a 4-up now. And then Ryan goes ahead and does Arcane on Forging, or whatever the spell is, and takes my scroll at random off of my Runesmith. I'm unable to dispel either of those two, and I can't use a dispel scroll anyway because I just lost it because he got it off with Irresistible Force. So essentially his White Lions are up to a 3-up ward save, which is really going to help him in my shooting phase, and I'm now behind in getting rid of his magic. Miscellaneous shooting takes out only one Ironbreaker. The 15 bowmen managed to squeeze a wound onto the gyrocopter. And then the bolt thrower volley goes ahead and knocks off a couple longbeards. Just fine, they're immune to panic. So in combat, the two fast cav are unable to wound the gyrocopter, and I in return hit, and I don't even need my hatred, and I wound and kill them. So that's nice. I'll be able to go around and steam something. So this is what the battlefield looks like at the end of Ryan's turn. And now we will move into Dwarf Turn 2. So I move both my gyrocopters next to the White Lions unit, which is probably going to be a huge mistake, and you'll see why. But besides that, the only other move is the Longbeards, which actually move back 2 inches. You can see that the Silver Helms are approaching, so I want to make sure that I don't get charged, and if they do charge, hopefully they charge the crossbowmen so I can get a counter shot, and then the Silver Helms can waste a turn or run off the battlefield. But the Longbeards are really there to just protect the flank of the IronDrakes and the organ gun. So I was definitely better off flying over something else and doing the dive bomb attack, or doing the steam gun on this unit of bowmen behind me, or perhaps the Swordmasters of Hoeth, but instead I do 2 steams. I roll about like 50 dice, and between armor save and ward save, I only end up killing 3 guys, which sucks. But remember, he's at a 3-up ward save right now, and I think a 5-6 armor, so oh well. This eagle gets shot down by the IronDrakes. The Silver Helms get shot at by the organ gun, which rolls up 2/6, so I got 12 shots. They're at long range, so it is, with the ballistic skill of the engineer, 4s to hit, but I do have the rune of +1 to hit, so I'm hitting on 3s, so I go ahead and wipe them off the battlefield. My cannon goes ahead and removes this eagle. I want to make sure I can protect my war machines from anything, so I shoot him down. And as the carcass of the dead bird falls to the ground, it scares the shit out of the Swordmasters, and they turn around and run. However, in High Elf Turn 2, they do go ahead and rally and face the enemy again, so the funny thing is now they are exactly where they were before Walk Between Worlds. So what do I care? The rest of the infantry make a nice march forward. The sisters are chilling out. Each of them has lost a sister, and the archers turn to face the gyrocopters. I'm not doing too great with dispelling his magic at all. It sucks. But these guys walk between worlds again, so they are exactly where they were after they walked between worlds last turn. So they are lost between worlds at this point. And since we forgot the magic cards, this was my clever way of reminding myself that I got Fiery Convocation on my guys. So a whole bunch of them take hits, which is no fun, and 4 of them end up dying. The good thing is since I'm not really casting any magic spells or anything in my turn, I can use all of my power dice to just dispel it, so it goes off just for this turn. Miscellaneous missile troops do nothing, so a couple Longbeards might have died, but really the IronDrakes are well protected with their 4-up armor and their 5-up ward save with the Banner of Grungy, so no one shoots them, which is wonderful. So this is the Dwarf Turn 3. Longbeards go ahead and march up, so they're going to go their 6 inches around the Impassable to maybe deal with the Phoenix Guard, because I'm anticipating them failing since I've got 2 runes of slowness. And over here in my shooting, my gyrocopters are doing the same thing again, because I thought maybe I can try killing something and just get some better luck, and Ryan could roll not as well, but I only kill 3 more guys again, so yeah. I feel that it's very important to try to weaken that unit as much as possible because I feel like once they get to me, they're going to wreck me. And they have the Everqueen in there, so if I can somehow destroy that unit and she dies, then I win the game. So, in High Elf turn 3, we do have a issued charge. The Phoenix Guard are going to charge the IronDrakes, so he needs to score around 6 after his movement on his 2d6. He ends up rolling an 11 between the two dice, so his charge range is too big, so even though I roll a 5 with my Rune of Slowness, he still gets in, so... Oh well. I was kind of hoping for a false charge, this way I can shoot, and then shoot again in my next turn, and then shoot again in his turn, but a counter shot peels off 4 guys, so yeah, it's not looking too good. That's a lot of Phoenix Guard I have to fight, so we'll see how these guys do in combat. Maybe they'll live up to their new expectations. The White Lions move up full, this way they prevent a flank attack onto the Phoenix Guard. And the Swordmasters are still alive. I keep ignoring them. Uh-oh. Soul Quench goes ahead and kills 2 Iron Breakers, and then he uses his item that I think allows him to do it again, but then she fails it the second time, so he only gets it off once. So finally, the White Lions are only at a 4 board save, so maybe I can kill some. But I won't be killing any with this gyrocopter, because between miscellaneous shooting, he dies. So, with a combination of bad rolling on Ryan's behalf, awesome new IronDrakes, and Ancestral Grudge giving me hatred, I end up killing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Phoenix Guard, and I only lose 2 IronDrakes, which is awesome. These guys have the Stoicism rune, so they are going to be stubborn, but it doesn't matter. I end up doing enough to cause him to have to take a break test, and the Phoenix Guard turn and run. Oh my goodness. The BSB was in that unit, and he ends up dying, so I get points for that. What a mess. That's pretty rough. So I am thoroughly impressed and happy with the performance of these guys. I mean, come on. 5 weapon skills, strength 4, 4 up armor save, 6 ward save all the time. If there's anything flaming, they've got 2 up. These guys are interesting. Very, very interesting. And then here's just a shot of the battlefield. You can just see that a lot of my Longbeards have been killed by miscellaneous shooting. And when I keep saying that, that means bolt throwers, archers, Sisters of Avalorn, any of that crap, Reaver Bow. So, yeah. During Dwarf Turn 4, I move the Gyrocopter to deal with the White Lions. I do issue a charge with the Longbeards onto the Sisters, but they turn flee, and I do not catch them. I did not charge with the Ironbreakers. I could have. I would have gotten the +1 strength, but you know what? Honestly, to shoot with the Gyrocopters and shoot with the Organ Gun and the IronDrakes is going to be worth it, I think. Really, I could have taken the Gyrocopter and scorched the Swordmasters, but I just keep ignoring them, so I decided instead to do a Grape Shot with the cannon. The Gyrocopter kills 2 White Lions, and then you can see I roll up an 18 for the Organ Gun. That ends up pulling off 7 more guys, so I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good shape here. So here is an aerial shot of High Elf turn 4. The White Lions have no other choice but to charge into the Iron Breakers. Rune of Slowness will do nothing for me here. And then also the Swordmasters will issue a charge onto the cannon, which are only 2 men short now. I was able to kill 2 with the Grape Shot, but wasn't enough to make a difference. The Phoenix Guard rally, and they're in ranks of 4 now, I guess. And the Sisters and the Bowmen just kind of surround the Longbeards and will open fire with their miscellaneous shooting. And for your viewing pleasure, just another angle of the battlefield. So 16 Longbeards left, with all the different shooting from the different bowmen and bolt throwers. They end up knocking them down to 9 guys. Here where things get a little interesting. I only kill 2 White Lions. I end up taking 5 casualties on the Ironbreakers myself. I end up needing a 5 to stay, because they're not stubborn. I paid for 2 runes of slowness, so they're not stubborn. I don't have the Stoicism rune. However, I do end up rolling a 5, so I stick, which is a real upset to Ryan. He was going to be able to overrun and clip the IronDrakes, which would not have necessarily have been the best situation, but at least there would not have been a counter shot. Odds are, once they go in there, they would have died anyway. The cannon dies to the Swordmasters of Hoeth, so this is the end of Ryan's turn 4. So for Dwarf Turn 5, I will issue a charge onto the flank of the White Lions, which is touching the Everqueen. The Gyrocopter goes ahead and sits next to the Swordmasters, and I do charge in on the Phoenix Guard, which gives me +1 strength, so I'm happy. I fry half of these guys. After like 4 turns of not doing anything and a misfire that spent 2 turns doing nothing, the Stone Thrower finally gets a direct hit. So I'm going to be hitting all those guys at strength 4. We don't even bother rolling it up. Ryan just says that they're dead. The Organ Gun shoots the other unit of archers and it rolls up 12, so we just say that they're dead. The Quarrelers shoot at some free Sisters of Avalorn, and we kill some more of them. I do really well with my Hatred and my Strength 5 on the charge, but the Phoenix Guard finally do decent at rolling up some 4-up ward saves, so yeah, they do alright. So I only end up killing 2, and we end up sticking here. In this combat, my 2 heroes make way. However, he does issue a challenge with his champion, and instead of me declining like I should have, I said, okay, I'll take it with my Rune Lord. He's like toughness 6, and he's got 2 wounds left on him still. So I'm okay with it. But he ends up getting killed, which is pretty silly. But I end up killing a bunch more of the White Lions, so there's only 3 left, and I lose an Ironbreaker and my Lord. So there's just the White Lions left. I fought my way out of combat, so the IronDrakes are no longer in combat, so next turn they can either charge. I wouldn't be able to flank him. I'd have to rear him, but I'm not sure I have enough miles in his rear, so we never really get to it, to be completely honest, because after turn 5, we have this, which is a pretty inaccurate representation because we never pulled off any of those 2 unit of black archers or the sisters. So Ryan gives me the win at this point because really all I've forfeited in points is a Gyrocopter, a cannon, and my Lord, which is a chunk of points, but I've, taken a lot from him, and then after we end up, doing the quick rolls out of turn 6, I finish off the White Lions and the Phoenix Guard. So let's go for some post-game analysis. You can see I had a lot of stuff to deal with on this battlefield, and my shooting and my combat was able to deal with it all. The Gyrocopters helped a lot too. But it really came down to the IronDrakes. The IronDrakes are pretty awesome. I wasn't too excited about their shooting. Their shooting wasn't that great. The original concept of this list went with me bringing the special character engineer Burlockson, because I can re-roll missed hits for any unit within 3 inches if I decided to enchant that unit that turn, which I can only do on a 2+, which, I mean, 1 turn on average I'm going to not be able to. However, that would definitely have boosted these guys a lot. They're only 18 inches, but you compare them to old school Thunderers, 15 points of Thunderer, I believe, with a shield. These guys are 15 points also, but they're rocking a Strength 5 gun that does not have -1 to hit when you're being charged. You have a 4-up armor save, a 6 parry all the time. It's not even a parry, it's just a 6 ward save all the time. 2-up ward save against anything flaming, which is cool. And then you got Ironbreaker stats, but better. Leadership 10. So I'm not entirely sure like where these guys came from in terms of what GW was going with. I'm not complaining, but they've got Ironbreaker stats, but better leadership. I'm not sure why, but they're cool. They did a good job. I mean, I was able to give them stubborn, which is awesome. So they have to kill every last one to break them. I mean, because Dwarf leadership is pretty high. I had the BSB in there. The Rune of Slowness I did not get to see in combination with these guys because if he didn't roll well, the concept was to have him slowly charge me counter shoot, and him never get to me because I'm subtracting from his charge range. But High elves are tough to deal with because they move quickly to begin with, but I'm impressed with these guys. I think they're doing all right. I gotta see how they do in other situations. They weren't a target of shooting because of their high armor, but also I did have Master Rune of Grungi, which gives me a 5-up versus magic missiles and regular missile weapons. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Dwarf Battle Report. It's going to be the last one for a little while because I got to get the lead belchers up and running in time for Crossroads. Still trying to figure out if the lead belchers are even a competitive list, but they're a fun list, and I'm having fun playing them. So we'll see how they do at the tournament, and then after that, I'll probably shelf them for a while and get into the dwarves a little bit. Obviously, you can see I've got some work to do in my army. Catch you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching.